I've always wanted to make my exercises more than just me going out and just lifting barbells or running down streets or even walking for that matter. I wanted to both build my body and my mind, and I found an opportunity here in Norfolk to do, well, both.
They held me in my sleepless nights.
I am walking the historic Church Street, which was literally not just the hub for African Americans in Norfolk, but arguably the hub for African Americans in the Mid-Atlantic region of the United States. Even though reliving this moment can be very triggering, it's also a great opportunity to think about what has happened in the past can happen again in the future, and that makes me so very excited.
Yes, ma'am. Both my parents grew up in Town. Yep.
Here's the funny thing about this very particular place right here that's fascinating to me that I didn't realize until just this second. You see that building right there? That was National Atlantic Bank right there.
The one with the stairs?
No, the one with the rotunda.
That's Bishop Willis.
Bishop Willis owned that.
I didn't know that.
He owned this building right here too. Yeah, he owned that. And he owned that. He was on the board. And something else that I found out that I didn't know, that my great-granddaddy, Yo Pappy, was on the trustee board of that bank. And then you look at it right here, my great-granddaddy was responsible for the building of the rotunda. And then you go over to that brown building, my Uncle Bill.
Rotunda was also it was a clothing store. When they moved out to, they went to Grammy Street.
It's very significant that this monument is here because when we get down yonder, you'll know that New Calvary Baptist Church is down there. New Calvary Baptist Church in the 50s and 60s was ran by a man named Reverend Milton Reed. He was responsible for Dr. King coming through here during the crusade, and they came down Church Street because that was the black street. Now, the other thing that's fascinating to me when we hear everybody talk about how, Norfolk just wanted to be another New York. You've heard that statement before. The reason why they said Norfolk wanted to be another New York is because Norfolk imitated New York. Yeah, young New York. Because what happened is, in the early 1900s, this was the only state, or city should I say, in the South where not only did blacks run free, but see, you got so happy you dropped everything. Not only did blacks run free in this town, but they dominated in this area. A historian called me and said you had Black Wall Street in Tulsa, you had New York, and then you had blacks in Norfolk. Which is another reason why you got the big post office right here. This was such a vibrant city. They had their own branch of the post office down here.
Yeah. Over there by Ruffin. That's where the post office was.
The big one used to be down there where the federal courthouse is.
Then they moved the ground to the Tower Drive. Then they moved up here. After they took all the people's houses and stuff, they moved up here.
But here's the other fascinating thing that you should remember, or you should know. The reason why they put this one over there, big one over there, that was for the blacks. The one downtown where the federal courthouse is on Granby, that was for the white people.
The one downtown?
The federal courthouse.
Right there to Brampton.
Yeah, that's the post office.
That was the post office.
If you go look on the building, it says United States Post Office on top of it. The lights supposed to, it's this wonderful contraption. Alexander Graham Bell came, no, it wasn't Alexander Graham Bell. Who was it? That man made these lights. I don't think we want to go out there with it on green like that. You have to use your traffic guard skills.
Going out there and stopping.
No, not up here on green light. We got another button here. Because see, that says we can walk. You probably know that when Bishop Willis built this building, you know, he had his radio station in there, 1400 WPCE, 1350 WGPL, and he also had this as an empowerment center. He had the first black empowerment center in this town in the 60s and 70s. He had all the people coming in there. Somebody, boo, you remember him, the bald-headed preacher? I mean, he is the bald-headed preacher. He'd get happy and just roll down, the sweat just roll down the back of his neck. But he knows so much about Bishop Willis and the inner workings of what happened in that building there. But from what he has told me, not only did he own the Christian radio station, Bishop Willis owned 103 Jams. He would have all these big black rappers and stuff coming up in there. This was back when, you know these rappers from the 80s and the 90s that was coming up. You know, I don't know the people. I was a classical Pentecostal. All I knew was Jesus saved, Jesus saved. But he had all the people coming up there working in the studio and doing the interviews and everything. And he literally, from a black culture, dominated this area in the 60s, 70s, and 80s. That was Bishop L.E. Willis right down here yonder. Church Street from 1900 to 1940 generated in 1900s money $1.4 million annually. Then there was a thing called a Green Book. The Green Book had all the black businesses, all the black entertainers. You had everybody come through here. James Brown came through here, performed at the Addicts. Lena Horne came through here. Red Fox did his comedy routine over there. Nipsey Russell, Russell. You know, he's the black guy, not Hustle, Russell. Yeah, but he's a different black man. I was talking to the lady last night because I posted on the internet and she told me about the letter. She said, I like your letter, but you're missing some points. She said, you got some time? She gave me 3 hours and she told me about this whole street back and forth. And she said, let me tell you something. You see that street up there on East Owner Road at 700 block right there yeah, you scared of it now and you were scared of it then. She said all of the black mafia and the Panthers and everybody, they would meet right up in here in this corner.
For the name Watergate?
I guess we got a problem, Houston.
See, one thing they had apartments and then they had people living on top of it.
You mean the business that had people living on top of it?
Yeah.
That's a new concept.
Can I tell you something? In the good book, it say vanity, vanity, all this vanity. You know what that mean? Ain't nothing new.
And no, ain't nothing new. That's all these people lived up here on Church Street. And some of the people that was running the store, that's where they lived. They didn't have no houses, no apartments nowhere. And it was rough up here too. They did a movie street, we get out the street. This street won't this wide either. This going over a 2-lane street. One going, one coming. And you can park on each side. And that makes it was hard to get down the street. They tore all these houses down over here in the buildings and stuff. And then that's when they made the street larger.
Cause you can tell by the buildings that all this stuff's new.
It's newish. I know my grandma used to longshoreman. And you know the guys I know him for always having the vans. He used to go get his hair cut at one of the barber shops over here.
Boogie T's theater was right long up in here. They had a theater here, Atlas over there. Atlas is still here. Boogie T used to be up here. Ringo's theater used to be right long up here. So we had 3 movies, all of them together.
And one of them was a 10-cent movie. And they were dangerous to go in. Yeah, you went to 10-cent movie. That's where the winos and everything will hang out.
They sleeping there and everything. Yeah, all this is all black.
Yeah, white stuff come from the creators.
You had the white people own the furniture store and stuff like that. But most of the Jews was up here. The Jews and the black folks was on the street. Church Street, we didn't go to Granby Street. Everything schools had was down Church Street.
Booker T parades and all that stuff.
Booker T parade came down Church Street.
For the pictures.
You got some down there at City Hall.
The fascinating thing about the black history of this town, if it is there, it's hidden. Because you can find anything you want about Granby Street online. You ain't gonna find nothing about Church Street online.
You see, we had a black newspaper, the Journal Guide. So if you had this thing, and they gone, and P.B. Young, he owned the Journal Guide.
That's why that school over there is named Young Park, P.B. Young. Yeah, but right there is a fascinating, that's New Calvary Baptist Church.
First Calvary is right
behind yonder.
That's my mother's side church.
Calvary, First Calvary, and Second Calvary. All of them was up here.
And then Bishop Willis decided he came from Portsmouth. Bishop. How are you, good sir? Morning. And you go up there in the door, they still got his picture on the wall in there. There you go. Bishop L.E. right there on the wall. Excuse me? In this area, he was. Bishop Willis lost to Courtney. Actually, all of these churches lost their power to Courtney. Went over there to old Vernon Russell. Yeah.
They tore all that stuff down. The Russell Church was almost down there where Tidewater Drive was. And when they made Tidewater Drive, they took the funeral home. That's where Hale's funeral home used to be. And Hale's funeral home moved to Valentine Boulevard. The other funeral home was right with the golf and church. That's used to call Bishop Grace.
That's Sweet Daddy.
That was all my Bishop Grace. They call him Daddy.
No, they didn't call him Daddy. They called him Sweet Daddy.
And when he come in town, Everybody had
Had a parade going.
yes, Lord, these have parades. And Germany, when he come in town, his kids would be
Now, is it true they used to throw flowers on them and
throw everything. But see, they said he started out, he was just an ordinary pastor. People praised him because God was using him. And he went to his head. That's why I can tell people. Prosperity is a danger in prosperity. Because if you don't know how prosperity is messed up. And that's what happened to him. He got lifted up. And them people worshiped him and them people did everything. And the parents, they had $50 lines, $100 lines, $500 lines. Them people go and give him all their rent money, their food money, everything. When he was in school, the teachers had to buy the kids food and everything. They knew Bishop Grayson, his name. He came in here in July. I think his grade was the 4th of July. This street was closed off. They had buses come from everywhere. Them kids had beautiful dresses and everything on, and to put that parade. And the city tried to lock it. I think that's one reason they got rid of that thing, because the city was hard on him, on that church. Because the kids go to school, they had no. They loved to see that thing. He had them long fingernails out there.
that's the Daddy Grace. He said sweet Daddy Grace.
No, it ain't Daddy Grace.
Sweet Daddy Grace, honey. That's right.
And then when you do it, you gotta bow down. It's sweet Daddy Grace.
Right here where this used to be the drugstore. The drugstore sitting right here on Church Street.
Oh, where the church is?
Yeah, right where the church is was a drugstore. Then you had some buildings right here. And then that's what I said, that was there. You had all your other stores and barber shops and people living there, had apartments in between all these things. His church was sitting right here in the corner. His church was sitting right there where that driveway is. They had a little small church right there. And our church, our Presbyterian church we used to go to, was sitting, High's ice cream store was sitting right here on the corner. Then we had, our church was sitting here, and then you had some apartment stuff there. And we could go in our bathroom, open our window, and look in their church. Because they would open their windows back there. And you could see them in there. That's why I said Sweet Daddy Grace. And they'd be in there dancing all around him, blowing their horns. They had the band. And they didn't allow them to marry nobody but the people in the church. Because nobody else going to take that stuff that they were doing.
The thing I find fascinating about this church, when I first learned it, when you looked at their sign right there, they were the only church in Norfolk that had a start and end time on their service. They told you we started at 11 o'clock and we ain't getting out of here till 3.
I know they stayed in 100. And they would go up in there because that church was sitting right there. There was an apartment house over there. And that was a High's ice cream store. My daddy's business was right next to it. My dad's business, they had an apartment, 2 apartments. Then my daddy's business, he had a King of Crescent place. And then you had some apartments, then you had a funeral home. I can't tell you the name of the funeral home. That's it right where the Gold and Church Street. Stonewall Jackson.
Who?
Was it Stonewall Jackson?
I don't know.
They had a school right down the street. The kids had to cross here to go to the school.
Down there before the cemetery is?
That's before you get to on this side of the street.
Oh, on this side.
of the street.
Oh, okay.
That cemetery right down there for years. That's all of them down here was apartments and stores. They didn't have no private homes. That's what color.
Yeah.
Bishop Grace.
That's Bishop Gray's successor. They built apartments behind there.
Yeah, let me see all the houses.
Uh-huh.
They built all that stuff. So they tore all this stuff down.
In the early 90s to Virginia, and I think it was
No,
97
it's 80s.
when the church was.
Oh, by then it
all
was
the
it.
pieces.
Yeah, it was it. It said, I did read an article on the pilot that said at the time of integration, that's when Church Street went, it just dropped.
Went on down. Because the stores on Church Street went to, the stores on Church Street went to
Grammy Street.
And the people on Grammy Street went to the outlet mall.
One of the ladies told me, she said what happened was a lot of these businesses was owned by people her age and grandma's age, but what happened was the younger generation, the next generation, they ain't want to do with it. And so when their parents died, so they just didn't come here and do nothing.
That stuff was raggedy to them.
Yeah.
They didn't want it. That's when they moved to the GDP.
So after integration, they said, oh, we can go be with the white people. And they left all their businesses and threw it all in the trash. What happened was, and this is great marketing by the other side, but what they would do is they would market, oh, you don't want to fix up nothing. Let us build it for you and just give it to you. And we had buildings and things that if we had to put 5 or 10 grand into it, we could have done it in stages, and we could have had some. But no, they went over there and got into $40,000 and $50,000 worth of debt that they could never get out of because they were constantly taking the rent up. And as a gentleman told me one time, you put the rent at a certain price just to get them in the door, and then once you get in there, you take it up every 5 minutes, and that's how you keep them in debt. That's what it did.
See all back here, we have them houses back here. They will run down everything else. They came to that Anna Street. That's Dall Street. That's Dall Street right there. Coming down at the Anna Street. All that was run down. Just like some old people had their houses and stuff. You know, when they got old, they couldn't keep them fixed up. And what they did is they tell their children, I want you to be something better than what I am. And they sent them to college, and they scrambled and worked like a dog and sent them to college. And then when they got their education, they didn't come back here.
This church right here is fascinating because if you're familiar with the Church of God in Christ, you'll know it's founded by Bishop C.H. Mason. That's Mason Memorial Church of God in Christ. Every church that has Mason Memorial on it was a church that he personally built.
He had his church was on straw. They didn't have no flow. It was straw. And that's where people went in there and worship on that straw. And then he had some people too.
And what? Wood? What was the framing around it?
Like a
wood?
Yeah, like a wood building.
But they didn't have no flowing in there. They had sawdust.
It goes to the whole new phrase of worshiping in a barn. He built barns.
That church wasn't that big when he first, but that was a small church. And then and it was sawdust and stuff up there. No people could get in there and worship on that sawdust. And then they kept on till they built that church that way. And then they kept on till they added all that land to that corners here. They bought all that land because there was houses and stuff in between here. And all these, like I said, the funeral home used to be here. And he had that one little small church. It's right there. And then after they built the center, the Huntersville Recreation Center, they built that back there in black, and they put the pool in there. And that was the first black pool we had. And everybody came to that pool. Because that pool, you go in there, you got a long pool. The other pools is round and all this stuff. So everybody still come, the farmers still come up here to that pool and work out.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's where I learned how to swim.
I think they built that pool back in the 70s. Jay finished school in 77. So somewhere around 69 or something, they built that pool, that recreation center right there, and put that pool in there. Because all the kids would go down, just like I said, they go down to where you got Waterside and all them houses and business stuff. That's where most of the black men and all, that's where they learn how to swim, right out there in that river.
I remember my parents used to go to the club, top hats down there.
Yeah,
right?
the hats. They had all their clubs and who was that? Roaring 20s there.
Club?
Huh?
That was a club?
Yeah, that was a club. I ain't never been in it, but the honey they had.
And I also know that's where you get your men at night too.
That's still where you get your.
I don't know, it's been a while.
That's your shit.
If you go down there, you can still get you some $25 of the condom, get you anything you want down that block. That's just all I gotta say about that. Huh?
They still have the
Didn't I just tell you $25 in the condom, get you anything you want down that block? Still.
United Insurance Company used to be sitting up here. Howard Cleaners. Because it was my dad had a standard cleaners over there. Then they had another cleaners over here. The insurance company was up here. So that's where all the business was right now. After you pass Robinson Avenue, you going on down there to that Waterside. It was rough down that way and it was rough down that way.
You had a doctor and a dentist?
New Huntersville or old Huntersville?
So what?
Is this old or new Huntersville?
Old Huntersville. No.
That man over there.
Huntersville is all up in there. That's Huntersville. You go. This new back here, old's down there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Close till you get to the tracks. Bro.
Yeah.
The old Huntersville down there, the A Avenue, B Avenue, C Avenue, 18th Street.
I hear about the division between old Huntersville and new Huntersville.
The old Huntersville is where all the lawyers and the doctors was first. They left Huntersville, then they went to Lindenwood. They moved to Lindenwood.
Okay.
And a whole lot of doctors and all stuff was in Lindenwood. Then after Lindenwood started going down, that's when they went to what you said, Liberty Park. And then they built Anna Street.
Anna Street.
Off the Tennessee Boulevard, right where the armory is. You go back up in there. Okay, all them were doctors and lawyers built up there on Anna Street. Then they went to down there off of, they built a new section down there by Wesley College.
Northampton.
Yeah, off Northampton Boulevard. When they on Brampton Avenue where we parked at, the black doctors got together and built that building because they was tired of paying all these people high rent and stuff. And that's when they built that building right there on Brampton Avenue, where now is Humana got it. That's the black doctors built that building. Dr. Austin and Dr. Willis, all them people. That's who they got there built that building. They put their money and built because all they business, all they doctors' offices right up here on Church Street.
Welcome to history class, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh, I'm with it. I used to tell him about the ice cream, I guess, store or
Yeah, the ice
shop.
cream supposed to be right here.
He talked about one that was on like,
Chris and Valentine Boulevard.
right across from Tidewater Drive. I mean, right on Tidewater Drive.
Yeah, it was one
Across
right
from Tidewater Park.
Tidewater Park. There was an ice cream store right here to Prince Anne Road and Church Street.
Was
There
that
was
Black
another
Dog?
ice cream store.
Like right across from the school down here. Or down
Yeah,
Bremerton.
yeah, you go that way, ice cream store. And see when they built Ruffner, see they took all that stuff over there in Ruffner. And when they built Tidewater Drive ain't been there all the time. Tidewater Drive was built in the 50s. Cause I won't forget that because I like to fell in the hole. They took the people's houses. There wasn't no street through there. They took all the black folks' houses and built that thoroughfare up here.
So was it another part of the projects of Tidewater Drive or was it on, I mean,
No,
Tidewater
the
Park?
project went up there. The project went up there.
Oh.
I don't know when they built the project, but when they built the project, Tidewater Park went up there. Because I lived in Tidewater Park in the 50s, 57, 58, somewhere around there. 58. When you was in the project, you didn't have that filth like you got out there now. You lived in the project, them people came to your house every month or every 2 months and check your house top to the bottom.
You had no man and now supporting the family.
There was a time when project people had to cut their own grass.
You had to cut your own grass and you had to clean up the front of your house.
Waiting. There you go. Walking is and all this exercise is great, but when you're learning something in the process, it's like I try to tell people, if you're gonna go out here and build your body, build your mind while you're at it.
I like that.
Yeah, and so I said, let's come down here to Church Street because there's so many interesting things down here because I feel that a lot of our struggles is because we don't know who we are, where we've been.
Let you know where you're going.
Exactly.
No.
Huh?
A lot don't want to know.
Well,
That's unfortunate.
well, some of us do want to
Oh
know.
yes, we do.
Bank Street Baptist Church was over here, and when they tore down up here to make the scope, that's when Bank Street went to Chesapeake Boulevard. Shallow Baptist Church used to be up here, Cumberland Church, Shallow Baptist Church. Yeah, everything was up here, and when they started tearing it down, and the white folks moved out of Brampton, that's when the black folks went to Brampton. Black folks could live in Brampton. Whatever Norfolk State is, all the black folks can live over there. Church Street House or middle thing up here.
But here's the other fascinating thing that I want to mention to you too. First Baptist Butte Street, the original First Baptist Butte Street, down there, all of them was right up in there together, downtown.
They built it for the white left.
You know when you go down 264 like you going to Virginia Beach, you see First Baptist Church of Norfolk? That's white people now. That was the black church. This one was the white church. They flipped.
The white church out here.
First Baptist Butte Street was started white.
White and it started down there on Freemason, somewhere down
Yeah.
there. Freemason.
First Baptist Butte Street started as a white church. And First Baptist Norfolk started as a black church. And they flipped. Reverend Bowling, that's where you get Bowling Park from.
Well, see, he was the pastor, then his son took over.
Yeah, the Bowling.
Bowling was running Norfolk then.
And you still call it Richard Bowling? That's where you get the Bowling from First Baptist.
Because the white kids started going, they didn't want to be known as Bowling Park, so they went and put his first name, Richard Bowling. Norfolk Community Hospital used to be down there, what's it called, St. Paul.
So what's Norfolk State?
Huh?
No, they moved it.
They moved that over there. Norfolk State was homes, and they went and they took the people's homes and built Norfolk State.
They were the originators of the ODU model.
Norfolk State ain't been on there. Norfolk State was started right down here in the car. It was down past Brampton Avenue all the way down there, Cumberland Street.
Yeah.
A lot of kids that don't know this history.
No.
But see, what you got to remember, Church Street went past St. Mary. See, they cut Church Street off right up there. We got a city hall and something. They cut that off. All that was Church Street. That's where the hospital, that's where the college, all that stuff was way down there. City hall ain't been there now.
And
You know,
took
Norfolk
it.
State,
Yeah.
they cut Church Street off down there, and they cut Church Street off up here.
Oh,
This
street.
that you do know about it gonna get cut short too.
Well, I mean, you know.
When they opened that city park up, that's when they cut Church Street off. Because a lot of people was coming, they came down Marshall Avenue, and they could go right into a thing. They didn't have called Church Street.
Mark 4.
Huh?
It's a Mark 4,
Mark 4 right up in here. Mark, that's another club. Mark 4.
He's still over there.
He got business over there, but he ain't got
I
no.
think they lease out the space for stuff, but she's not doing anything.
No, that was a club where they drank, they did everything, they ate and everything else in there.
Oh my.
Mark 4.
When I was going to First Baptist as a Boy Scout, now I don't know all of them, so I'm not gonna say anything, but there's only 2 funerals that I ever seen packed out First Baptist Church. My granddaddy's and Reverend Gloria Newsom's first husband. I remember we came back from camp and we turned the corner right there at the post office and you could hear the windows rattling in First Baptist Church. Dr. Murray old now. See, Dr. Murray can't get up like he could back then. You know that old song, Lead Me, Guide Me Along the Way? He got to that last part and we had to stop. It was so, lead me, lead me. Lead me! I ain't never seen Dr. Murray get off like that before in my life. Dr. Murray got, he took him. You were quiet in First Baptist. Dr. Murray got in there. They said Levert Taylor. I don't know about him.
Levert Taylor's the first one. They got me Levert. And then that's when Maury came. And then Maury just, that's why he got Levert Taylor. Levert Taylor started saying, people started saying amen. They didn't want that. Them
Shut up.
said they want that. Oh, because see, First Baptist owned all that land that they sold to Stoke. All that land was in pocket. And First Baptist.
Queen Street.
First Baptist Queen Street. That was the company there.
St. John down there.
St. John, First Baptist Queen Street. But the land where First Baptist owned, that was and Queen Street. All them John right there together. You couldn't even get down there. All down there when they built that Florence company, there were houses and they had stores and stuff down there.
The journal guy was on Butte Street.
Yep, right there, not too far, on the same side First Baptist did, right just before you got to St. John. That's where T.C. Young was. That's where his business was down there.
That's probably why they named this park after him. I appreciate everybody coming out here for this history lesson. I'm inspired. I learned a lot. I went to Grandma's history class.
I learned a whole lot.
Yeah. St. Mary's at the hospital.
St. Mary's, yeah, they had to put them retarded kids down there.
We call them mentally challenged now.
She can get a pass.
She can get a pass?
You can't get a pass.
Okay.
But I can like get corrected
Yeah.
without saying no more.
Yeah.
She got a lifetime.
She grandfathered in.
It was called St. Mary's Infant Home.
It was called what?
St. Mary's Infant Home.
They moved that over there for Jimmy's Boulevard now.
I know, but it was called St. It was down here.
Oh, wow.
They got rid of Church Street, they got rid of all that stuff.
Oh, wow.
St. Mary's Infant Home was down here. That's where the hospital was. You call it Mission Hospital. That's where Norfolk State started down there. Named it.
When they built the jail, they cut Church Street off and made it St. Paul Boulevard. But before that, all
Ran to the water.
straight
Church Street ran to the water.
Church Street ran to the water.
Church Street ran over down to that water. They cut it off.
Wow. And Norfolk State and everything were down there.
Norfolk State called Mission College. That's where Alana finished her degree down there.
I've always wondered, why they call this Finn Church?
Because that ran off of Church Street?
Was it always Finn Church?
Yep.
Oh, wow.
My grandma was
You,
in town with a drive.
you said what?
No, just that my people come out of town with a car.
Yeah, all the, yeah.
Out there,